Okay, so it's time for Shokugeki no Soma, Chapter 142. Now, I do apologize for last week not uploading Chapter 141's review. Um, yeah, I kind of, work kind of got the best of me as well as schoolwork, so I do apologize, but I will not be doing a review for it. Um, I mean, I will voice a couple thoughts. I certainly thought it was awesome how Soma challenged Azon anyway. Um, the facial expressions from Soma were just amazing, etc. Uh, and that's really the main thing of the chapter. The whole castle thing was awesome. So, chapter 141 was awesome. Moving on to chapter 142. Um, the note that he left behind was kind of funny. More so just because of the face that he drew. That was just like, that's typical Soma face. And everybody's reaction to it was like, the fuck? Like, Ryoko's face was the funniest. Um, if you look in the back, like, her eyebrows are like, what the? Like, her face is just twisted out, like, what the fuck? He really just did that? Um, and of course, they're all, like, sort of, they're all obviously, like, shocked, and, like, Tadakoro, like, immediately wants to run and try to, like, save him. Like, not that she would be able to help, but just showing how much she cares for Soma, which I really like, of course, because I ship them. So, but Ibusaki saying, like he kind of points it out, like Soma went alone because he knew, like, that if they had known beforehand, they would get dragged into the whole thing. Um, but right now, it's only, I mean, Polar Star as it was is about to get demolished, but Soma, I believe, is putting up his expulsion. Um, So, it was possible that with the others getting involved, that they could have also gotten expelled, uh, at least in Selma's mind. But, Hisako coming in, and Soma, like, just busting in, and then the reaction to Soma challenging Azon, just great. She's just always, like, busting in and going crazy when it comes to Erina, so that was pretty funny. Um, let's see. Yeah. Um, so it seems like the match is already beginning. Like, this is moving really quick. Um, hmm. I don't really know what to think of the pacing here. It's actually kind of, it seems too quick. So I feel like there's going to be some kind of twist involved with how the Shokugeki is going to take place. Like, the pacing is almost pointing to Azon winning, like, outright because of the judges, like, immediately, or something's gonna happen that'll shake things up. That's what the pacing is showing right now. Um, anyway, Rindo coming back. Rindo being Rindo, pushed all her work on Aishi. So, like, the mountain of work um, that is just piled on Aishi is just unbelievable. I would quit after that. I would just jump ship at seeing all that paperwork. Um, but yeah, nothing really to mention about her. Just her, being funny. Uh, let's see. So I do like how the theme of the Shokugeki is like a match of the Karage type of thing, where it's like that was never finished, that fight. Um, so we should just go head to head with that kind of chicken theme. Uh, so, but like that's not all. Obviously, is meanwhile we even see Ibusaki's eye, like one of his eyes, like he's so shocked because Aizan sent people to evict them um, while the Shokugeki's happening. So like we'll see what happens, but like it's possible that they might try to just do this while the Shokugeki's happening, so that even if Soma wins, uh, Polar Star's still done for. But that's obviously not gonna happen if Soma wins. Um, Somebody's gonna step in. But yeah, uh, yeah, they're just Azon just he just keeps like sinking lower and lower. That's the point of these chapters, is just showing just how much of an asshole, a douchebag Azon is. Like, you're supposed to hate him at this point. You are absolutely supposed to hate him. Um, or you can love him. You can have the hate love relationship like a lot of people do have, like Dio Brando from JoJo. Um, but I think it's pretty well written, especially if Soma beats the living shit out of him. It'll be very satisfying. And just lastly, I'll talk about the last page with Soma and Azon like staring each other in the face. Like the art in that, I here I go again with blowing smoke up Shunseki's ass, but like the art in that page is like fucking phenomenal. I'm more so talking about the left panel, not the right panel. But yeah, the stare down panel is like, it shows it all. It really does. Um, just look at Azon's body language, where he's gotten lower than Soma, almost like a feral type of stance. Um, you know, his the way his hands positioned, his eyes, his mouth. Um, it's just like it's supposed to represent like cruelty, craziness, etc. Meanwhile, Soma looking down on him. That's very significant. Looking down on him with those cold, dead eyes, like you're scum. Like that's it. You are scum, and I'm about to kick your ass. Uh, Soma is the calm one right now, which is very, very interesting. He's not like, yeah, he was very surprised when he heard that Azon was sending subordinates for Polar Star, but and that's the significant point, is that that was the only spot he was surprised about. He was When it came to the Shokugeki itself, he's very calm. What does that mean? Well, could mean a couple things. One, could mean he's just putting on a face. Two, it could mean that he has a plan. He has some kind of trump card that can defeat Azon, even with the judges um, being biased. Um, Number three, he's not. He's just trying to be calm, even though like that's his strategy, is to be calm right now. But I think number two has to be the most likely, um, because how can he be this calm when he just put? I'm pretty sure he could be expelled from this shit. Um, so with that in mind, what does he have in mind to counteract this? What is he gonna do? Um, Soma often acts like he goes in blind, but he often does have a very good plan. For example, the whole thing with Subaru, where everybody assumed that he was ad-libbing, he was improvising, so that Subaru couldn't do the perfect trace. However, it was actually quite the opposite, and that was that Soma was actually observing Subaru and managed to come up with a plan. So, with that in mind, uh, we still haven't seen the full, like, we still haven't seen the full extent of his stagiaire period, like, abilities, like, that he's gained. because the whole, you know, the Mapo Dofu stuff and all that shit. I mean, it showcased a certain level of ability, but it didn't showcase his ability as a chef in a Shokugeki, because he was mass producing dishes, not necessarily creating one dish for the judges to taste, to grade based on taste, not what you can mass produce. So obviously, we haven't seen the upper limits of Souma's capabilities in a Shokugeki since the stagiaire period. But that aside, that's not enough to get past the judges. There has to be something else in mind. Like I said before, the Nakiris, like Senzaimon, assuming he's not flat broke. I mean, because it doesn't make sense that he would be flat broke just from leaving, like just from not being director anymore. Could certainly back Soma with money that can match Azon's proposal. Uh, I mean, of course, Gin can always come in, Joichiro, and do something. What? I don't know. I mean, more often. I mean, Gin has power. Obviously, Joichiro does not. um, who knows? And speaking of people who are missing, Ishiki. He could be planning something. Um, I like how everybody's saying like he's with Central. Um, I mean, technically he is, but not by choice. He did not vote for Azumi. So I'm assuming he does not necessarily agree with Azumi's plans and or ambitions. So Ishiki is a very cunning person. Obviously, Ishiki could get involved here. We have no idea what he's doing. He's been missing for a while. He could be planning something to over overturn Azon. It seemed like Ishiki and Azon didn't get along before, so it you know that's definitely a possibility. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up because I don't want to speculate too much, because there's a lot that can happen here. Um, so this chapter overall was pretty good. I definitely art very good as usual. Story progression, it's there, but it does feel like it's a bit quick right now. But I'm sure there's going to be something um, that's going to shake things up that'll justify the pacing. But yeah, so thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you all next time.